Hi there, I'm Ben, an RV technician here at Lichtsinn RV. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize a Winnebago Revel. A couple things you're going to need to get started are RV antifreeze. Make sure it is RV antifreeze, not automotive antifreeze. It will say usually right on the front, RV antifreeze, usually pink. The other thing you're going to want is rags, kind of clean up the RV antifreeze that goes in the sinks, toilets, stuff like that, just so it doesn't stain anything. If your RV came with the blue hose, you'll need the blue hose. If you don't have the blue sprayer hose, you can also use the shower sprayer back here and in the shower also. But if you have the blue hose, we'll have that back here. Your coach does come with a little 3-foot hose. We can use this for winterizing. That we can hook up. I have my own out here right now, but if you have that, you can use it. So I'm gonna have my own hose here. Right on the back side here is where all the water, everything gets hooked up. That's where we're gonna winterize from. So what we're gonna do is where we hook our city connection up here, that's where we're gonna hook that hose up. So we'll thread that hose on there. Just like that. Okay. RV antifreeze. Open, we'll break the seal. Just like that. Put my hose in there. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to place these valves in winterize mode. So winterize is going to be right up here on the right. It just says winterize. Siphon to fixtures via pump. So that is how we sucked RV antifreeze out of this out of the jug into the system. So right now you can see I have the green one facing that way, red one that way, blue that way, and white that way. That means I'm in winterizing mode right now. So that will allow everything to get winterized. One of the last things I'll do is I'll come back here and make sure this gets winterized. I always like to get everything set up, go back inside the RV, make sure I have all the faucets closed, everything, and then turn the water pump on from inside the RV. So now that we get this all ready to go, now we will go up front and then we'll start winterizing from inside the coach. Okay, now that we're in the RV, very first thing we're gonna do, like I said, just make sure all your faucets are closed. Here and here, pretty much just the shower and the kitchen sink, just so it's not running when you don't want it to. Next thing I'm gonna do is turn the water pump switch on, which we do have the one here. There is that second water pump switch in the back. I usually just use this because I'm standing right here. So we will hit that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to all the faucets until I get a nice steady stream of pink coming out. So like the kitchen one here, I'll open the cold side, and I always just do one at a time. So we'll let it get all the way through the system here. And shortly you'll see it come flowing out. Okay, now that we got a nice steady stream of pink, what we're gonna do is switch it to the hot side now. Let all the air come out, any residual water that you have in there come out. And then again, a nice steady stream of pink. What I like to do is once I have a nice steady stream of pink on the hot side, after I hit both, let it run for just a little bit so we can winterize the macerator pump that's actually pumping the kitchen sink into the gray tank. So I like to run at least, a 1/4 of a gallon or so into the kitchen sink so we winterize that whole hose and the macerator pump. So I'll just run a little bit more, let it fill up a little bit. That'll work, and then we'll just pump it to the gray tank. Just like that. Now we've winterized that kitchen sink and we also got that pump winterized. So now if we do the kitchen sink, we're gonna go into the bathroom. We can start with our cassette toilet down here. All we're trying to do is push the blue button in the back until you get a nice pink stream coming out. Just like that. And then what we can do is we can drop that into the cassette. Close it back up, shut that. When we're all done with this, we would go outside and we would dump that cassette toilet just so it is empty and not freezing. All right, the next faucet we're gonna do is our shower. If I can get it untangled. There we go. Okay, so you can do it either way. You can do it in the kitchen sink or we can go down to the actual shower drain down below. I'll go down the shower drain. So again, just run your cold and hot. to get a nice steady paint coming out. And there, and I'll turn the hot on. Just like that. And actually, I am out of RV antifreeze, so now I would need to go in the back and actually change the jug of RV antifreeze. A Revel roughly will take about 2 gallons of RV antifreeze. So you'll want to make sure you at least have 2 gallons when we go to winterize this. As you can see, I just went through 1 and I wasn't quite all the way done here. Got most of this done, but we still have to winterize that faucet that's in the back, so you definitely need that 2nd gallon. The other place we have to winterize is right outside the front door here. We need to go out and hit the low point drains that are right down here. Now that we're outside, I've already went to the back and I actually put the 2nd jug of RV antifreeze in the system. So now that it's hooked up back there, what I want to do out here is you want to hit the low point drains. So there's 2 low point drains, here and here on the outside. The middle one's your fresh water tank drain. So we want to make sure we open that, drain all the water out of the fresh water tank. And the low points, all I want you to do is just hit them really quick, just so we make sure we're winterizing that line. And just like that, we'll get all that into there. There we go. And there we go. And then close that freshwater tank drain because we don't have any water in there right now. Now we'll move to the back to finish up. Okay, now that we're in the back, again, we're gonna either use the blue hose that came with the coach, or if you don't have this, that shower hose that's up there. Just a quick connect, just like your shower. We're gonna hook it up to this outside faucet that's right here. Just like that. And then what I'm gonna do, again, one at a time. We'll go hot first. Just push it till you get a nice steady stream of paint coming out. And then next I'll shut the hot off. And then I'll go cold. And we'll run that. Nice steady stream coming out. Shut that off. And then we'll shut the cold off. And you want to make sure you shut it off and then relieve the pressure off the hose. Otherwise it wants to spray at you. So go like that. Release the hose, and what I always like to do is drain the hose. Go here and then pull the handle. And that will get all the RV antifreeze out of the hose. Alright, just like that. Okay, and the other thing we can do is we'll put the jug on the ground just to help drain the rest of the RV antifreeze out of the line here. Now it's just going to drain back into the jug. The little bit extra kind of helps with the mess. Take that hose off. Just like that. Okay, and now this is where the regs come to play. So any RV antifreeze that you spill or anything, just make sure you wipe it up. Again, over time, if it's on, I know like outside of your shower hose and stuff like that, if you leave it sit for too long, it can stain it. So just make sure we get everything wiped up in the sinks and also on the shower base and stuff like that. We want to make sure we wipe all that up so it's nice and clean. Other than that, you can always, if you want to, leave the valves like they are, or we can put it back in normal operation. It's kind of however you want to leave them. Just remember, if you do leave them in this position, the next time you go to use your system with water in it, you won't get any water. So correspond the valves to whatever you're going to use it for. Other than that, there's really not much to winterizing a Revel. It's pretty easy. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Hopefully this video was helpful. Have a good day.